And we're back, guys. Hello. How are you doing? How are you all doing? Good to see you. Hey, Dasha. Hey, Sandy. And Myth and State. Grow. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome, guys. Let's see. Next. Hello and welcome. Studio Miss Steve. Or my Steve. How have you all been? I have been great. I have been to... I visited family. Hey, Alex. I've been to actually the place where I grew up. I visited family there, and it was great. I saw a lot of places I grew up, like the town I grew up in, the house I grew up in. I have been seeing it. I have visited there throughout the years, but it's been a while, and in some ways, so much has changed, but a lot is exactly like it used to be. Kyojin, if that is how it's pronounced, welcome. But yeah, I had a great time. I went there this Friday, and we stayed there like 4 or 5 days. Yes, Sandy, the tree I planted as a child, there was actually, I took a picture of the house I grew up in, and I planted several trees there, and it's amazing so many years later to see how it's grown. So yeah. Hey, Nancy, welcome. Welcome. State, you showed your girlfriend the sushi picture I posted on Discord, and now she's insisting on a trip to Denmark. I think you can find sushi like that in many countries. It's not. I mean, it was great, but it wasn't out of the ordinary of anything else you could get at all. Like, I suppose in the States where you are. But yeah, it was good, definitely. Hey, Alex, welcome. The music in the background, actually, so this one is from Bonnie Gray's, called the Norman Kings. I used this for Freya's Hall, the video, and I mentioned that I would post the playlist maybe on the Discord or somewhere. I haven't yet, but I should do that. Yeah. Yeah, and we went to an old forest nearby where we played a lot as kids, and yeah, it was really incredible to see that, because that has been many years since I've been there, and there was this image, or this not image, but this moment. We walked through kind of the path in the forest, and there was this house kind of on the outskirts of the forest, and the way kind of the scenery or the kind of the view was, we walked down this path and saw this rooftop. Maybe it might have been the garage. There were no windows. It was kind of like a house, or not a house. It was probably an annex building, or some small building beside the main building. But that was the only thing you can see, and the way the roof was there was moss on the roof with a slight tint of red color. And just this scene, I took a picture of it. I haven't posted it yet, but it felt like something out of like a Studio Ghibli, like Chihiro or something. Just an amazing kind of view. Really inspiring place. And yeah, I will post that on Discord. So if you're not on Six Court by Discord, please stop by. Lookout, hello, welcome. A1BR, welcome, hello. But yeah, I hope you've been great. It was nice that I could kind of slot this kind of trip in between last stream and this stream, so there won't be like I told you, there won't be any break. So yeah, I am totally ready to get going. Yes, Sandy, the link is in the description for Discord and for the Patreon or stuff like that. But yeah, I hope you've been doing well, guys. What have you been doing? Have you been having a nice weekend or summer vacation or winter vacation for some? Ahoy! I can't pronounce your name, but hello and welcome. Yeah, I posted the name of this stream as texturing, which is something I wasn't gonna do until at the very end. But I don't know. I feel like the texturing is kind of important for this build, and I kind of need to see this done because I don't think there's anything in the building in the I mean, in the interior. Last time we made the kind of the rough kind of just rough spaces inside, and I don't think there's anything that needs to be accounted for from the outside. So I think we're good, and we could actually just finish everything on the outside. And I want to do this in this stream. I really want to add the texturing and because I feel this is the biggest thing, like from the outside, that's missing, and I really just want to see that done. Your buildings are awesome. Thank you so much. That is nice of you to say. Are you a slightly nuts group myth? I mean, yeah, I can attest to that. WFA Ambush. Hi, I'm building your Sanctum build in my world. It's an amazing build. Keep it up. Oh, that's awesome. Remember to get the foundation right, because that's the biggest problem people are having, is kind of counting the blocks in a weird way. Hi, Six Wings. Today I finished building the Arch Tower in hardcore mode. Your builds are magnificent. Thank you so much. The Arch Tower. So did you fall a lot? I can imagine that being a because of the height of the build. There's potential to get a lot of fall damage. But yeah, let's try and just have a look and see what we got here. Yeah, hardcore Sandy. That is crazy. So we have a couple of things that isn't done besides the texturing from the outside. So I need to make a dome up here, but I don't think it's consequential for the texturing or anything else really. And there's a bit of detail going on here we need to do, but I think this is pretty simple. I mean, this is only one design that could be copied around, so I think that we can do this fairly quickly. But yeah, other than that, I think it's the gradient. The gradient from the mountain up to the cinnabar red is what we need. And I want to add a couple of other things throughout, but we'll see about that. Kyojin, you're building the mausoleum in your on hardcore. You're on episode 4 now. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's true, Dasha. You can always get it wrong on purpose. That's, of course, what you tell yourself, right, Dasha? It was on purpose. Okay, let's see, guys. Let's see what we got. I don't have any particular plan other than just starting with... I think the best thing is to start with the gradient and then just go in slowly and add kind of the more kind of and add more of the. Be right back. See you, Sandy, in a bit. But yeah, I think I want to do something like this gradient you see here. So we have the cinnabar. That's the main block, and I think going from that to something like red terracotta to terracotta is a good move. I don't think we need all of these. Maybe even, I mean, just half of them, or maybe even less than that. We'll have to see. But what I will do is to use World Edit, because I don't know if you guys have used World Edit for that, or have used Axiom for that, because I haven't used Axiom for gradients at all, really. So WFA ambush, I'm not from, well, I'm half German. Technically, I'm half German. But I'm Danish. I would say I'm Danish. But yeah, one of my parents was from Germany. So ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch. Aber ziemlich selten spreche ich Deutsch. You tried, so Dasha, you tried Axiom gradients, but you failed spectacularly. Yeah. I can see myself do that. So I like to use, what is that? I like to use World Edit because of the shovels. Okay, copper shovels. I've never used copper shovels. It doesn't matter. We just need a tool to map on the brushes. That's all I'm doing here. Sie können gut Deutsch sprechen. Vielen Dank. Das ist sehr nett von dir. Ich bin ein bisschen außer Übung. Okay, brush. We need a sphere, and we need we need to have a look here and see what we have, because we need. Let's see. I think we should start with something like granite at the bottom. Just add a bit of that and then start from there. I think that's a good block. We can always kind of substitute that for something else, but I think that's a good step from dirt and then granite. And some places we need a bit of... I'm not sure actually, but I actually think we should use because I made a gradient here that goes from the stone to something more reddish, with the light terracotta and the dead brain core block. And I don't think we need that, because I think we will move directly from the dirt blocks and start from there, and then yeah, I think so, because most of this is dirt. I mean, here it's a bit more of a stone kind of wall, so maybe we'll have to see about that. But let's start with some granite. Yes. I got a new keyboard and I really can't get used to it. I have faith in you. You got a mind that sees beauty and hands that brings beauty into reality. That is so poetic, Dasha. You are a true poet. I will steal that saying about myself. I won't use it about myself, of course. That would be unbecoming. Granite. And let's see. We need to... Okay, let's try and just make it a big... Well, actually, okay. Let's just make 50% granite and the rest just dirt. Yes, and then we'll make a mask, and that mask will be only for cinnabar bricks. You are only allowed to use this saying when you're talking about yourself. Well, you're not a mod anymore, Dasha. So you don't have anything. You can't tell me what to do anymore. Alex, you have a question. One day, do you want to participate in a Minecraft civilization experiment like Ish's civilization events? I have no idea. So I know about Civilization, the video game. But is it in relation to that video game, like Civilization? Hey, Rebecca, welcome. You're a little late. You are right where you need to be. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know that particular experiment or yeah, I don't know that, or event. Yeah. What did he do? Like I would do something weird. Come on. I didn't do anything. It was all Dasha. Actually, let's... So, I made the mask for Cinnabar. Oh, wait, I made the sphere dirt. I need Cinnabar instead. So let's do this and see how this looks. Yeah, just for now, I think this is fine. There's no link between each civilization and the game. Okay, then I really do not know what it's about. Can you explain what it is about? King Ath, King Gath or King Ath? Hi, welcome. I'm sure it's not King Ass. Okay, guys. I am just trying some stuff here, but the thing I want to do, other than just changing what the block here, because yeah, I can already tell that this is the wrong one. So the problem we have here is a problem of the value of this block here. So we have the granite block is nothing like, I mean, it's much brighter. It might look fine here in this gradient we have here, but it's actually somewhat brighter than dirt. So we need to change this to maybe mud bricks. Let's see how this looks. I'm guessing mud bricks is cool. Well, it is cool, but Dasha, I complimented him and he said he's stealing it to use on someone else. I said he can only use it on himself. Yes, that is true. I don't even know how to say the name. I misclicked it in the Clash of Clans when I was 8. Okay. Okay, now I feel better because I always think it's a bit awkward to kind of say the names in the chat wrong, which you probably, I mean, that's something that happens all the time. Okay, replace granite with mud bricks. Let's start with mud bricks and then and then let's go from there. The thing is, I do need to you know what, I think let's do some coarse dirt. I always like to use a block that isn't already in at play in the build, so I can always change that block to a different kind of block. I think that makes it much easier to kind of I mean, when I want to go back to kind of roll back some of the changes I've made. So let's go with let's see. So instead of Cinnabar, we are gonna say mud bricks. And is it coarse dirt? I think coarse dirt is fine. And then the mod. Okay, let's try this. Yes, so here you can see this is darker, which is what we want. We want something that is a bit darker against the bottom here. This is much better. And then we can use this for... Wait, let's see, this one needs to be granite and cinnabar. So cinnabar and mud bricks. Let's see how this looks. Okay. Right now, I don't want the grading to be too messy. So I'm gonna fill most of this out and kind of make it a bit more clean. I mean, it's fine with some sort of kind of gradient, but for now, let's just keep it a bit rough, and we can see how it will look. Maybe some of this will go up a little higher here. Yes, I am too sweet, Sandy. I don't. Yeah, that's a good tip. Yeah, no one ever getting my name right is why I changed it. Yeah, you had a different name, so I'm just saying Myth instead of Mythic. Myth, that's just easier for me. Okay, Alex, you're saying you only have one life. You actually explained it up further up. In these civilization events, you can do whatever you want. Build kingdoms, for example, with other players, but you only have one life. If you're dead, you'll be banned definitely or indefinitely from the server. Okay, that is hardcore, definitely. Yeah, imagine being part of that, and then having I mean, with friends there, and you're having a good time, and then you just have to leave. I mean, that's the tension of it, but still, it sounds rough. But I mean, that's in general hardcore. That's kind of the appeal. That's gigantic. Are you going to teach how to build? I will try and teach you how to build. I mean, if you're talking about a tutorial, sure, at some point. Not just yet. So I can already see that I have gone too far in a few places. So I will do I will do 2 more brushes here, and one blush, cinnabar. One blush will be the cinnabar, and this blush is a brush. I know. Will be mush mask. This will be for the mud bricks. Okay, let's start here, because it will get way too. I think we went a bit too crazy here. I mean, it's fine to have this go up a bit, but not too much, I think. But yeah, this video is about... Hi everyone, Ali. This is about texturing, and okay. Just to break it down, what I want to do, I want to make different levels of texturing in a way that makes it a bit easier to kind of grasp, or kind of a bit more structured. So I will do more or less the same as I did with for Utgard. So what I did was I created a gradient, like a gradient with maybe 5 or 6 different layers of blocks, and then I kind of blurred the lines between each of them, and then substitute each layer with a block that kind of that matches that block, basically. So you're having a gradient, you have a kind of a fade between them, and then you have a noise pattern for all of them. And then after that, I will add some cracks, some some additional kind of give it a bit of a weathered look, not to the same extent as Utgard, but just a bit here and there. That is kind of the plan. Right now. Okay, let's try and see. So here we need to add the next one. The next one will probably be, let's try the 2 types of terracotta and see how they mesh. Just to see how it looks. Let's see. Sandy wants to check if I'm recording. Why would she want to do that? I'm always recording from the very beginning. So this is recording. Like always, this is not something we forget here on this stream. This is just the usual kind of very structured form of content I'm making. Okay, let's see. We need terracotta. Yay, terracotta with all in caps. I think 6 is the biggest brush you can make. Let's see. So cinnabar bricks. Okay, let's just check this and see. Okay, this looks like this, right? Let's try the other one and add the red terracotta here. And yes. So this is quite close. And then you have this one. So they're actually not that close to each other. I think we need something in between. Yeah, I mean, I never forget to switch back to the game. When I go on full screen like this, I only do this for special occasions. And then, hey, Thias Russell, hello. Okay. So we need I think this jump is way too big between these two. And as you know, I don't really like to use weird blocks. So I'm sure a lot of weird blocks will show up now. Well, the normal cinnabar is actually showing here, which is interesting because the normal cinnabar is actually quite bright compared to the bricks. So this might actually be a good option. But I don't want to use magma blocks. I don't want to use copper bulbs. And then I have the red terracotta. So I think this is the only real kind of useful one. Let's see if it works. Wait, what am I doing here? Okay. Will this eventually become a tutorial, JJ? JJ is asking me, and it might be. I have a lot of builds that hasn't been made into tutorials yet, and I don't know. It's a bit difficult because, yeah, there are so many, and others need to be made too. Cinnabar. Wait. Wait. Yeah, okay. I think this gradient is better. It's not perfect, but it's better. So when this will be mixed up, I think it will be better. It's a bit, yeah, it could have been better, but let's try it. Let's try it. So let's see. Let's take the first one here. This will be the one with terracotta and cinnabar. Let's try. Let's try this one, and then for the other one, this will be the cinnabar. Yes, and then so I'm making this 50% bricks and 50% normal cinnabar. This is a good way of kind of gradually adding more instead of just making it like 100%. You can make it 50% or even like 30%, and then kind of work it in a bit more slowly. So let's just try and see if this works. We can always change this later and go back and remove stuff. But yeah, I'm just trying to see how this looks. Hey, hello, brother. Bearded Pete. Hello, welcome. Welcome. So you're asking if I like European or Asian designs better. I like both. I'm a student of architecture in all its forms. I would probably say that I prefer European because that's where I'm from. But I mean, it's all about what mood I'm in, and I am itching for making something, something from Asia in some way or some sort of. I don't know. I don't have any plans now, but I do want to. Go back and do more of that. I mean, the problem is always time. I always struggle with having enough time to do all the stuff I want to do. So that's the most difficult thing in general. Let's just have a look here and see. Let's just check out with gradients and see how it looks. And of course, we have a cloud just right about where I am looking. I actually think, just looking at this right now, I mean, I will add a bit of gradient upwards, but I think it's not half bad, this gradient here. Yeah, I will need to see. I'm not sure yet. If I thought of building inside a huge mountain, like a dwarven city or something like that, that could be cool. I don't have any plans for it. I have thought about a nether build. I did talk about this last time. It would have to be, well, because I do enjoy making things that are kind of part of the biomes as they are. I will probably make it inside make it in a what am I trying to say? In the nether, instead of just a kind of imagined world. Because the thing is, with the nether, it has, I mean, on the overworld, you do have more space in general. But I think I could make that work and just and do something inside a like the normal nether, and just work within that framework. I think that could be really cool. But for a mountain, like a dwarven build, that could be cool. I don't have anything in mind right now, but definitely, I mean, it's a nice suggestion, so I will think about it. But I'm not quite sure about what I'm doing here. I don't really like the normal. It's not the block cinnabar, but the cinnabar block in general It's just the way it blends here. It's just very bright compared to everything else. So I might do. I don't know. Is there anything we could add? So this doesn't suggest anything else than these blocks here. Art Deco for, yes. I mean, if you look at Dasha, at The Lord of the Rings, the way it's actually one of the not inspirations, but I just leaned into that kind of aesthetics a little bit for Utgard. But if you look at the dwarven designs from The Lord of the Rings for Moria and stuff like that, there's almost a Art Deco kind of vibe to it because of the kind of more angular or kind of the geometrical kind of shapes or kind of ornaments. I usually don't make modern designs like contemporary. It's not quite contemporary, but it's kind of like 100 years old Art Deco when it kind of was used the most. But yeah. That is a really cool kind of way of building. So it is something I could perhaps think about using. Yeah, I'm a bit unsure, but let's try and just see. Okay, we need to have the core stirred. And then Cinnabar. Okay. It's not contemporary. So the reason I say it's contemporary is that it's just on the cusp of modernism, which is basically what everything we're building now. It builds upon modernism. I know Art Deco is not part of that, but compared to what I'm doing, it is modern. It's a more modern style. But I mean, I take your point. It is something that can be inspire something like a dwarven fortress or something like that. So it's not like I couldn't be using that. I think that it's definitely a great art style to use. Okay, I mean, for stuff like this it works fine, I think. I'm just not sure about. I think the block I'm the least sure about is the normal cinnabar. It's just a bit. The value is just a bit too bright for this texturing here. Yeah, the texturing is going to, or the texturing for some. Are you're referring to something else, State? Maybe. I mean, generally, I mean texturing. I mean, I'm doing this with tools, and this is still like a big kind of a demanding kind of job or project. So anybody that does this in survival is like a real one. Yeah, mangrove. That I've thought about mangrove. I used mangrove before. The thing about mangrove is that let's have a look at mangrove. So the problem is that I actually think the highlights on the let's just try and take a look. Just doing a quick test here, just to check out the difference. So I mean, Thank you, Cloud. And I need glasses. What is going on? So, which one is brightest? I would actually say that the strip one might be a tad brighter, but it's almost the same. I don't think that's the most kind of yeah. The problem is it is darker than the cinnabar block, so I'm not sure that we're gonna, because I thought I did think of using it, but I'm not sure what at what point throughout the build, because let's just try. Okay, let's try this. I will try this. Okay, just 1 second. Let's substitute the cinnabar with stripped mangrove wood. You see how dark it is? It's way darker. So this definitely works better if we use it like further upwards. And I've done that already because oh, wait a second. Because oh, wait, what did I do? Undo. Why can't I redo? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the thing is, I used mangrove up here for these parts, kind of from a gradient between the. So states that I used terracotta as a gradient block. Yes. What if he moved the terracotta down a level in the gradient and put the mangrove just below the cinnabar blocks? So that's the problem. If the thing about the problem with mangrove is that it's darker than all the others. It will be. I mean, that is why I've used it up here. I used it here because it's a bridge between cinnabar and Blackstone. It's a next in line. You have mangrove and then nether bricks and another rack and then yeah, whatever. And down here it's just too dark. I don't need a darker color here. So I think I would want to either, I mean, I might just leave it as it is and then just do the gradient a little bit better. I think that's the way I probably would want to do it. But yeah, it is kind of, you would think that you could kind of mix everything together in a kind of a workable way, but it's just a bit, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it's so bright, the cinnabar compared to, yeah, it just doesn't kind of blend well together. I'm not saying it's a bad block. I'm sure it has its uses for some things. It's just a bit, I mean, the value is fine. It works for just, I mean, it is, the value is close to the brick. It's just the value, the hue, but the value, or the kind of the so value. When I say value, I mean how dark or bright it is, basically. But I think red terracotta is really great for just for general kind of just for adding a bit of interest. I will add a bit more detail to these towers, but I think this is fine for now. And here we can actually have this go up a little bit further. Another thing I want to do, I think, is to I like the idea of having the texturing be on the outside. So the thing I'm doing now is let's see if I have the just 1 second. Yeah, here. If you look inside, I'm sure this has already happened on the lower levels. So you can see here. Well, you can see here because you can't get in. But if you look here, yeah, you can see all this has actually manifested inside. So I think what I want to do for at the end, I don't think it's something I need to do on stream, but I will probably copy all the inner walls back into the build and have another form of texturing inside, because I don't want to. It makes sense to have the weathered look outside, but it doesn't really make sense inside. This is a gradient that happens over time because of the weather. Inside, it wouldn't be like that. There can still be a gradient or in some sort of noise pattern, but I don't think we need the gradient to be inside. It doesn't really make sense. So I want to do that, or change that to but yeah, I think the red terracotta is really nice. Just for larger areas here, just to add a bit of a change between these two. And then I think, okay, let's have a look. Oh, no. Shovel. Let's take the diamond one and then add a let's add a stripped mangrove wood, and then have a mask like so. Oh, wait. Let's take cinnabar brick. Oh, let's take cinnabar bricks and then yes, 50-50. So it will be a mix of both, and then we can make the gradient. We can actually use what you suggested, but from above, going down, downwards. So here you can have a part of this can be. Let's have a look. So now it's actually, we have a gradient here. And actually what I would do in the end, I'm not going to do this now, but in the end I will probably do something like this, where I take the yes. Yeah, I need to get used to my new keyboard. I would replace all these stripped mangrove wood blocks with mangrove planks, like a 50-50 split between the two, something like this. So now you have a texturing inside the texturing, so to speak. I don't want to do this now, but we can do this later. So Kush, I'm currently building Utgard, and I'm in the process of making the bridge pillars. I don't have enough space to create the arches as it is not high enough from ground. You don't have to do it exactly as I did. So if you want to, you can just create what you can. I mean, you don't have to. Coco, the next tutorial will be the first cathedral. And Dasha, I can only imagine what wonders you create in my precious ballroom. Yeah, so for the people who don't know, Dasha really wants to have me adding a ballroom inside this space here. Oh, wait. Inside the space here. Which is, I mean, fair play. It will be a cool space, but I don't think it will be a dedicated ballroom. But I think for this rendition of it, we might we might make something like that. We'll have to see. I was about to say something. Yes, I will make the first cathedral for the next one. And the thing is, I'm working on a very big project right now. And the problem is that project is really demanding time-wise. So I'm not actually sure in what order I'm going to do things, but I think I'm almost about to change my mind on I'm talking about my own kind of my own plans and what I've been thinking about. So the reason I'm mentioning this is I want to make the next tutorial, but I actually wanted to make another build. So I'm in the middle of doing a build behind the scenes, and for that build, I think so I will do this first either way. But I wanted to make another build after that because of the Halloween season that is coming up. And I know this is not, it is not going to be in a while, but because of the projects and how big they are, it is a bit, I mean, it's difficult because it is, okay, doesn't look good. So I was thinking of making these two large projects back to back, but at this point, I'm actually beginning to regret these plans because, the problem is that it takes so long to make, and I don't want to. I really hate being in a position where I need to work for a deadline. So I'm an architect. I work like that all the time, and it's not. It is stressful. And I really like what I really like about my channel is not having to adhere to a schedule where I need to finish this or that in this time frame or that time frame. That's also why I don't like to join competitions and stuff like that. I really just enjoy just doing my own thing. It's like making a dinner really fast, or making a dinner over hours where you have all the time in the world. Not all the time in the world, but you know what I mean. You have much more time, and you can kind of let things stew and have not be so stressed with it. So that's what I want to do in general for what I'm doing with everything for my channel. And the only thing that really is on a schedule is my Halloween videos, which I have been making each year for the entirety of my channel. So I'm also a bit torn because it is kind of a tradition for me to make a Halloween video. And I still want to make that build I'm thinking of for that video, that's supposed to be Halloween. I'm just not sure I want to limit myself and say that I have to do it for now. It could be a winter project or something like that. So I'm not dead set on this right now, but I might actually end up skipping the I'm trying to say the Halloween build, and then starting on the tutorial before that when the next build is done, which I'm guessing a lot of you will be happy about, because I know a lot of you have been waiting for the next tutorial. But the thing is, I need to be creative with what I do in between tutorials, I need to make other stuff. I can't just make tutorials. I need to be creative with other things. This is just how I work as a creative person. I really, yeah, I just need that. Okay, let's see. It's too big. Let's see, what do we have here? We have a brush, strip mangrove, and cinnabar. Let's say 4 blocks instead. Oh. I enjoy watching you and recreating your builds in my microserver. Your tutorials are really easy to follow, and your builds are breathtaking. I have finished the mausoleum and now 30% done with Utgard. Yeah, I'm so happy that you feel that way. I mean, it's always difficult to tell how many people feel this way. I'm guessing a lot of people feel this way, but there are, of course, people that don't feel like the tutorials are that are kind of conveying enough information. Or myth. I'm not going. So it's not about burn. Well, you can call it burnout, but I'm in no way feeling burnout. It's more about just doing what I want to do. It's because I do enjoy making tutorials. It's not that I don't enjoy it. It's just that the most enjoyable things to do for me will always be to create new things and be creative with new stuff. I think that's the main kind of drive for, and I'm guessing a lot of you too, right? Just creating new stuff that you I mean, yeah, it's like exploring a new place. If you go to the same places you always go to, then you're kind of missing out on new experiences. Okay, let's see. Let's try and go all the way around and kind of add what is needed here. I don't know how much we need, but and actually, yeah, I talked about these mud bricks here, how they complement the Blackstone. I think I want to do something with this. I might actually be doing some texturing, some local texturing with these darker blocks. I'm not sure yet, but we'll get to that, I'm sure. It really feels calming, and it feels like meditation. Keep doing what you're doing. Love from India. Thank you so much. Yes, I mean, it's some people have called it ASMR content, which isn't my intention. I mean, I'm just doing what I'm doing, but I can definitely see the relaxing side of it and how that can be, just a sort of meditation when building, just or following the tutorials. I feel like basalt would be super complementary to the Blackstone. Yeah, perhaps, yeah. Yeah, I think I will need to do something. I want to add a bit more detail to the underside of the bridge, but not quite yet. I think I will try to get the texturing for all the cinnabar first, get that right, and see. Because if we can get that right, then I think everything else is secondary. I think this is the most crucial part of the build. And I'm not sure. Let's just see. Love from Russia. The stream start at a perfect time for us Slavs. My personal thanks for that. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think about this time or a little bit earlier is actually when I usually like to kind of watch streams or listen to streams. So when Sandy goes on, or Jusilia, or, yeah, some of the other guys I'm listening to, I usually do this while doing the dishes or something like that, which is kind of a, I don't know, you know how it is with kind of routines. Sometimes it just fits with your schedule, and I think just having something to listen to is that's always nice. But yeah, I must admit I do watch, but I mean it's 80% listening and 20% watching. Yeah, I think some local texturing will do wonders. Where I just go in and add some stuff. These kind of larger kind of gradients they can feel a bit, I don't know, just a tad uninspired sometimes, but I think it's fine for the bigger kind of parts, just to add a bit of variation. The optimal streaming time for both Western Europe and Americans is decently late for me. It's always been a struggle. Yes, and I know that a lot of Americans, which I think is my largest audience, depending on what time of year, but they're working or whatever they're doing, going to school during the day, and it's not always the perfect time for people to stream here in Europe. And I have been thinking about maybe just doing a couple of streams earlier in the day, but which would mean that people from Australia or India, stuff like that, would be able to join, which could be nice, definitely, at some point. Let's see. We're just doing a bit here, and yeah. Oh, Crow, are you leaving? Have a great day. Nice seeing you here as always. I hope you have an awesome day. Let's see. And Sandy, you're back. That's awesome. What have you been doing, Sandy? I hope the dogs are okay. Okay, let's move on to a bit of mud bricks. User GN5, hi Six Wings, how's it going? It's going great. I mean, I'm a bit I need to kind of power through this section here and get a bit more kind of further into the texturing, because right now I'm not feeling it so much. I think I need to just be... The thing is, I mentioned this last time, I think, but the thing is, when I'm building a build in, you see me build it in a time lapse or something like that, you don't see all the frustration, and I'm trying to make this a lovely stream, so At other times, I might be a bit, I wouldn't say negative. I'm fairly positive in general, but the way I feel about a build throughout building, it kind of there's a lot of times where I'm just not quite as happy with the build as I want to be. And in general, I am happy with it. It's just the texturing, how everything is now. I kind of just need to do a bit more work to get it. Yeah, I think I need to kind of get over it's almost like a hurdle, and I need to get over to so I can see that the build is kind of going in the right direction, if that makes sense. You have a competition. I'm not trying to pronounce that name, but so you are strategizing about it, about this competition you're in. I don't know how to pronounce it, Sandy. I'm sorry. Too much brown in the gradient. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I mean, you could say that maybe that's too much brown again. I'm not as worried about that actually. I think I think it's okay to have it reach up here somewhere. I'm not. I would actually. Oh, what did I do? Okay, so I think it's fine here. I think the gradient is fine here, where it kind of. I mean. Dasha, I'm actually not. I'm not totally in disagreement with what you're saying. So I think, in general, the gradient works best. So if you remember the arch tower, hey Ellie, hey, or Elia. You are grumpy about the build. I'm not that grumpy. So in general, I think as with the arch tower, the most of the texturing itself was on all the lower parts. So beneath the detailing of the build itself, mostly. So I think in that sense, that might be true. I mean, we could actually, have a bit less. I think. Good question. I think actually here we can remove some of it. Over here, I think, and maybe a tiny bit here. Let's just see. I'll just remove the clouds so it's easier to see. So the arch tower was an absolute nightmare for you to make because of the terraforming. I can imagine that, yeah. But yeah, looking at the build from here, I'm sorry to. I'm not sorry to agree with you, Dasha, but you are right. I think we should just push the gradient down a bit. I don't think it's a bad gradient. I just, especially here, just looking at this from. Actually, looking at this from here, I think the gradient is actually fine. It's just more about pushing it down just a tiny bit. And the same thing here, just pushing it down a bit will help. It's fine on the tower here. It's, I mean, over here, it's not half bad here. I think because of the lower detailing here, I don't think it's a problem necessarily. Maybe just a tad lower. I'm sorry to agree with you. Yes, you're stealing that. We are exchanging the sayings, you and I. Sure. Okay. And from here, it's not that bad. I think this is actually... this is not a big problem. I think we can work with this. Oh, wait. If 6 says to do it, I will. Otherwise, Lord Weaver will be my target. Okay, do what? Do this build or... Virulence, okay. Not a bad choice either. Okay, guys. I will be removing a bit of the texturing. So let's see. Let's see. Okay. We'll begin from the bottom and up. So just... yeah, okay. We'll have to remove some... let's see. Okay, we will remove the coarse dirt. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a mix of coarse dirt and mud bricks, and then make a mask only for the coarse dirt. Okay, let's see how this looks. Yes, exactly. You can see what I'm doing here. I'm actually pushing down the gradient a bit. And here I'm actually removing it because it's a bit... it is a bit dark. The coarse dirt is a bit dark. It's darker than... it's actually darker than the normal dirt. And I'm only using this because it's easy to exchange or replace with something else later. But yeah, this is cool. This is cool. So I'll just go all around the build just to remove some of this. The lower bridge shouldn't look like it's going straight into the dirt. What are you talking about? This one? This one, Dasha? I mean, you're beginning to be a bit entitled on the design of my build. It's okay. It's okay. I can always say no. Hey man, I subscribed to your Patreon about 2 weeks ago, highest tier, and I wanted to thank you for your builds. You really bring joy and joy and love. I don't know what that means. But thank you so much. Thank you. I am so glad that you enjoy the builds, and thank you so much for subscribing. It really means a lot. I mean, it's really a big help. It is. So thank you so much. It means a lot to me. Okay, let's see. No, that's fine. It's fine with your English. The lower bridge, yes, but I meant the gradient on the tower. The bridge is red and the tower is brown. I know what you mean. I am removing this. It is. It has to be unbroken. This part here. I mean, it could. I mean, I don't think it's. It couldn't be have that gradient, but I think it's definitely it is definitely a good idea to change this. Okay, let's see. I have this bottom needs. I need to do something about this bottom here. Not now. You're entitled to your own ideas. No, you're not. You are not. Of course you are. Okay. Let's try the next one. Yeah, we need mud bricks, and the next one after the mud bricks is terracotta. Yes. Okay. Terracotta and mud bricks, and we need to do this with a mask on the mud bricks. Yes. Okay, let's see. Okay. Awesome. And now the objective is to kind of push this down. So the gradient it's fine to kind of have the gradient be kind of tapering up here. But I definitely think it's a good idea to have this part be a bit more unbroken. Same over here. Well, I mean, not quite the same, but just pushing this down a bit. So guys, what are you doing? What have you been doing today? Something interesting? Something something fun? Good news for you, bad news for you, State. Oh, I mean, good news for you. So I'm guessing you mean all of you, the other guys. Virulence happens to have a lot of blocks I rarely ever use. Well, you need to go farming then. Rebecca, you have something to eat while watching. No, you have not missed anything. It's just going slowly forward. I hope. So Dasha convinced me to change the texturing a bit, to lower the brown parts a bit, because I do agree that they should mainly be beneath the foundational blocks. So everything beneath these kind of lines here. So try to push it down, I think will be a good idea. Good evening, Neb. Welcome in. Yeah, I really want to get going with... oh, wait. Wait. Okay. Wait, am I using the wrong one? Which one am I? This one, of course. Yeah. Hello, I built your autumn castle in my survival, bro. You did an excellent job with the tutorial and I love the final result. That's awesome. That's my first tutorial, and the thing about that tutorial was that it was never meant to be a full tutorial. I made that first episode just with one section because the entire concept of that build was to kind of, and you can actually see this in the time-lapse video. The concept was to kind of show how you could build something that was how would you put it? Something that was made up of one design that you could just copy around and maybe change a bit, but everything was more or less built around that. And that's why I kind of, people have been were asking a lot about a tutorial, and I said, fine, I'll just show you this one section, and then you can just go from there. And then suddenly more people wanted to. I mean, people really wanted a full tutorial, so I took that kind of tutorial and kind of repurposed it to be just one episode one, basically, which was a bit bad because everything else. And hey, Sophia, welcome. The problem with that was that, I didn't show the foundation. I didn't show anything other than this one section, and people I kind of had to direct people to the second episode, just to let them know that they needed to check that out first, just to have an idea of where to build and everything, and then but I'm glad that it still works. It was my first tutorial, so I'm glad that you could use it. As for what I'm doing today, I got to sort through garbage for recycling purposes. Who knew saving the planet involved such interesting smells? Yeah, Rebecca, I hear you. That is true. Love your builds. I've been replicating the mausoleum build in the private survival server that I play with friends. Sorry. They think the scale of it is insane. I mean, it is quite large. Really appreciate your style and tutorial. I really appreciate that comment. Thank you so much. Been playing a lot of Skyrim these past few days. I love that game 2 bits. I love that game too. For context 6, remember how I said I'm going to build the lore we were well with, and now also Sandy tried to get me to build Violent, but I'll only do it if you say so. So yeah, you have to now. I'm saying that now. And Trisha, you are done with the Emerald Cathedral Part 4. I can't remember how many episodes are in that tutorial. Is it 5, 6? Hey Sophia, I hope you're doing great. And Neb, what do you think? How long will it take for the next build to come out? I can't wait for the time lapse. The next build, it's difficult to tell. It is really, really difficult to tell. It's a large build, the biggest one I've ever made, and I have made a lot, but it's definitely it will be a big video. I need to have less of these shovels. I told him to hold off on Violent for no reason in particular. Okay, I know what you're saying. I mean, he is going to build this build before I even finish it, so he will have to. I mean, it's up to him. But yeah, there will be. So if you so State, you're Patreon, so you should know that that build isn't finished yet. I will be doing more work on it in the not too distant future. So you could also wait with Violence till it's done, and then do something else. This is up to you. But yeah, Dasha, Skyrim. I've played so much Skyrim, and I love modding Skyrim. That is, I've been modding Skyrim for years. It's been a while since I played it, but I really do love it. Okay, we need cinnabar and terracotta. Oh, and okay, let's try this. So I won't be using all of this cinnabar here. I simply just need to add it to the places where we have a lot of this of the terracotta. So I will be removing all of this too. So it's not supposed to look like this. It's just a placeholder. Have you played Oblivion or Morrowind? You know what? I haven't. I know that Oblivion there is a remaster. Have you played the remaster? And how is it compared to the original? It is one of those both games. I mean, most people actually. I think the most popular one is actually Morrowind, if I'm not mistaken. Patience, child, patience. I love the condescension myth. Hush, my child. You haven't played the remaster. It's pretty demanding graphics-wise, and my graphics card is very budget. Okay, yeah. I can see that. Okay, let's try and see what we have here. Whoa, I see how it is. 6, can I please have context? So Sandy, if you want to share something in the chat, you can. You don't have to. Or should I share? It's Sandy's decision. Oh, Rebecca, you are going calling it a day. Thank you so much for dropping by, Rebecca. It was awesome seeing you here. I hope you come next time. Share with the class, please. Sophia. Yeah, I mean, it's Sandy's decision. It's she's involved in it. Yeah, it's my project, but I don't want to share something that we are both working on. I mean, now I'm actually sharing it. I'm actually doing I'm actually sharing just by saying that. Okay, we need to. Okay, without saying too much, the interior of that build is not done, Violent. And I have been mentioning... He said too much, yeah. I have been mentioning that I do intend to bring on creators for future streams. The series is gonna be called 6 Meets and then the creator's name. It can be other YouTubers, streamers, and we will. It will be different for each stream. It will be about building, about their builds. It might be touring the guests' builds, doing something together. It depends on what I'm doing. It doesn't have to be about building. I will probably keep it about building in general. Like that will be the main focus, but I don't want to limit it to building only. And yeah, and I am I'm having I have plans for one of the streams, and in that stream I'm gonna do a bit of building on a particular Halloween build. With a particular streamer / YouTuber. Let's see, Cinnabon. Yeah, Mias, I heard you told me about the keycap. I had my last keyboard. The keycaps began falling off, and it was kind of on life support, that keyboard. So I got a new one. I think this is better. It kind of follows the mountain. So right now, let's see. I think this works better because now we actually have more of a gradient, and most of it is actually from the kind of the base or the on a foundational level, and then it kind of fades into the red block up here. I think this works much better. Sophia, you are a creator. I actually saw your video. I mean, we can definitely. I definitely want to have you on if you're interested. So we just need to talk about what the stream would be about. But I am not in any way. How would you put it? Picky with who I get on. I want to get people on that I like, and you're an awesome person. So if you are comfortable getting on stream, then we should do it. Yeah, I mean, you need more subs, right? So, but yeah, I can see it be a bit I don't know. I would probably be nervous if I haven't streamed before. And Myth, you will get back to streaming. Yeah, I have seen one of your streams. So Myth gives me a lot of shit when it comes to doing weird stuff on my streams, like forgetting to get back. So when the most common one you'll see me do is starting to build and talking about my build, and then I forgot to go back to the to the Minecraft camera. But you know what Myth did? She forgot her microphone, the voice from her microphone. So yeah, I don't want to hear anything. Okay, we need red. Oh, wait. Wait, okay. Neb, if I remember correctly, you mentioned something about making your own music for the videos in your stream. In your first stream, how is it going with? How's that going? So I was mentioning that in regards to my next video, which is something I want to do. So I have it's not playing right now, but I have a MIDI keyboard here, and some other stuff. So I will be making my own music for that video, and I'm really excited about that because this will be something totally new to me. I mean, the build is something I've never done before, and creating my own music for it, that will be something I've never attempted before. So I'm very excited about that, definitely. Rosenkreuz, hi, welcome back. Welcome back. Greetings from Spain. Congratulations on the football match, your win against Argentina. What a game! I mean, I'm saying what a game. I mean, it was kind of brutal. Oh, Sophia, you're trying to beat Minecraft with half a heart. That is in hardcore. That is ambitious. That is very ambitious. I'm actually not quite sure what I'm doing here, but I'm just trying to... Yeah, you're getting sleepy, Dasha. That is fine. I'm sleepy too. Not as sleepy as you, but a tiny bit sleepy. That is okay. That is okay. And you don't have to feel pressure being here. What do we need, guys? We need something else here. I'm just freestyling a bit of detail. I myself am planning to do the same for my time lapse, and I already started composing. But just in case you haven't started yet and have no experience, I advise you to start practicing to compose soon. I mean, I have some ideas for what I'm doing, and because of what I'm doing is the style I'm going for is more lean. It's going to lean more into ambient stuff. I'm not going to do anything before I'm finished with the I mean, I don't have. I will start. I will start when I will begin when I have enough. Trying to say. Well, yeah, I simply need to get the build done first, and then I will. Yeah, and then I will do it. But yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, there's no easy way around it. Of course, you need practice, but I also need to. I just can't compose anything before I have the video. So I will be. Yeah, I will be doing some work on it, and then. I mean, sorry. I will make the video first, and then from there see how everything will kind of fit together. I think I will probably struggle, but I think that's fine. That's totally fine. I have a rough idea. I have some melodies in mind for the main theme, but it will be more ambient focused. So I will be. I won't be kind of bogged down in melody as much as soundscape. Create soundscapes in general. Feng Chao, you're doing the mausoleum in your survival world. That is awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, when I create videos with my kind of time lapse and stuff like that, I create the music will be picked after the video is more or less done. I don't finish a video. I just compile all the clips, and then it's a big puzzle of getting all the the music to fit with the video. And there are multiple kind of things that needs to be taken into account. So one thing that needs to be taken into account is just the general flow of the video. So I might remove stuff that isn't kind of vibing with the music, or I might add stuff after the fact because of how the music peaks, or how. So if I have a song I really want to use, I try to find the emotional peaks in those songs, and then it's one big puzzle where everything needs to kind of fit together, which is really a really fun part of making videos. I love it so much, so that's why I really want to get back to making like my normal styles of videos, where I do have a bit more creative license to do what I want to do. But it is a big puzzle. But the difference is, if you create the music yourself, then you can actually build the music around the video instead of having it be the other way around. Or, well, at least to some extent, because another thing I do with my videos on the music is I actually edit a lot of the music together in a way where I might cut the music in different places and add, yeah, I mean, I would, sometimes I add, just a second. Oh. What am I doing? I sometimes change the music so much that, I mean, you can still recognize the music, but in a lot of ways it's not, it's just changed a lot. So yeah, it depends. Sometimes it just fits and I don't have to do much, but I try to kind of have the beats of the song kind of match everything I'm doing. So it is like a puzzle. My wife started to build the mausoleum build on your own server because I like the build so much, but also that it seems to take ages. I wonder when it will be finished. Yeah, I can only imagine. It is a demanding build. So Dasha, are you reading Are you talking about the Night of the Seven Kingdoms, the show, or are you reading the book, or? It took you a year to build the mausoleum. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Yeah. So I don't know how you guys feel when you start one of my builds. I mean, some of you that kind of knows how the scale of them, you probably kind of know what you're getting into, but I can imagine a lot of people will start on the build and then they just, well, it's just much bigger than they thought. I don't know if that's the case, but I can imagine that. Because one of the biggest, kind of the more difficult things in Minecraft in general, I think it's something I'm actively trying to get better at, but trying to understand how big everything is. Look at a build and immediately understanding the scale of it. That is something that can be a bit difficult, I think. Yeah. Let's see what... I have no idea if this looks good. I'm just doing like a bit of just a bit of detailing, just to have a bit of these edges here. Quite a combination. There's a song from the soundtrack of Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I love Duncan Egg stories, and it's based on. Okay. Nice. I have the book somewhere around here. I think it's actually up here. I haven't read it yet. I need to. And also, I haven't seen the show yet. I'm watching House of the Dragon. I'm watching, but I haven't seen Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I've heard it's great. You have the original book series, but got Fire and Blood and the history of on an Audible. Yeah, I also have the history book. I can't remember the name of it. It's quite long actually, but it's incomprehensive. But yeah, it's a big world to kind of delve into. I forgot to ask, what Skyrim mods have you played with? I love Inigo, the best follower mod. I know Inigo. I have played with him a bit, the Khajiit follower. But I have. So I actually haven't. So I actually like playing a bit more with visual mods and stuff like that. I haven't added like that many mods. When it comes to kind of gameplay wise, not as many in general, but I think my mod list is fairly big in general. It used to be. The thing is, I want to mod the game again, so that's why I'm not playing, because I feel like I need to start on a fresh playthrough the new mods, and then it's just been so long, so I can't really. It's just a chore to get into it. But I do really miss it. So it's definitely on my playlist. Like when I work on my builds, the music from Skyrim is on my playlist usually. One of the longest processes for building it has been quarrying all of the stone and deep state. Yeah, there's so much to. I mean, the only thing I can imagine is that it's not that many different kinds of stones. It's a stone that's fairly easily accessible, but still it's, I mean, hundreds of thousands of blocks. So no matter what stone it is, that will be tedious. I'm actually not sure what I'm doing here. I'm just trying to just add a bit of detail. For now, I think this is fine. Okay, actually, we need to add a bit of the cinnabar back into the build. So right now, just for the texturing, the final part I'm doing here, not the final part, but just for this section of the texturing, I want to add a so red terracotta and cinnabar bricks, and we need to make a mask for the brush, which will be the red terracotta. So it only affects the red terracotta. Like this. And now we can kind of work this into the build a bit more. I do want to give the... So the thing is, I think the closest block... We can actually test this in a bit, but I think one of the closest blocks to kind of... to to the cinema bricks is actually the red terracotta. I think this is actually it's not in color necessarily, because when you look at this, you can easily see how different it's very different, but it's in kind of in value, it's very close. So if you stand back, it's actually not that far from it. It's a bit, you can see it here, but it blends fairly nicely together because the value is almost the same. But I do want to kind of add just a general layer of texturing to the entire build, and that might just be even more of this red terracotta. I'm not sure, but we can give a test it out in a bit just to see how it looks. RIP the bagel. What bagel? The poor bagel. What happened to the bagel? Have you ever thought about building this with more people? I mean, it seems for me so much more bricks can be placed and putting group culture in a build. Sure, but then I would need to. I mean, I might actually do this on stream when it's when I get people on, because as I mentioned earlier, I do want to. Wait just a second. Did I forget something? Oh, okay. I do want to bring more people on in general. More people. I haven't brought anybody on stream. I want to get people on my stream. And yeah, that like a stream could be something I could where we could build something together. In general, for my own builds, I like to do them by myself. Unless we have some sort of plan that is, I mean, it depends on what I'm doing, because there are ways to build together that I would enjoy, where, I don't know, it could be perhaps something like having like if I build with another builder, we have each our area to build on, or our expertise for different kinds of things. It could be something like having, let's say, having the more kind of larger parts or more rough parts of the builds will be me designing those, and then having another person work on the details. But then again, we won't be working together. Then it will be kind of me first and then another person building. So on stream or like together now as it is, we would definitely need to have a plan on where to go and how to work together in a way that makes sense for the build. But sure, I'm not against it. I'm not saying I'm against it. It's just that normally I do enjoy to kind of work on my own builds and do what I want to do. Just generally. Okay, guys. I definitely need to do a bit. Okay, let's just have a quick look and see the general gradient, and see how it looks. I think just looking at this here, I think this works quite well. Most of the gradient is below the kind of the foundation on the foundational parts. So when I say foundational parts, I mean everything that isn't detailed. So the line you see here, and it's more or less up to that line, and it's the same over here. Some of it is goes a bit up here, but I think that's fine. It doesn't have to be one-to-one. So I think this is actually, as a gradient, it's actually okay. So the next thing we could do, we don't have to do it, but this is the noise pattern. And we can just check it out and see how it works. The gradient is much better, Dasha. Yeah, you would say that because it was your idea to lower the... Oh, Neb, are you going? Good night, Neb. It was awesome seeing you here, as always. I hope you'll drop by next Thursday. We will miss you so much. Okay. Let's try and make a general gradient for the cinnabar bricks. So let's say cinnabar bricks, let's say 75%. I can write cinnabar and 25%. Let's try mangrove planks. I think they might be too dark. A 100,000 blocks are affected. Yeah, you can see this is very kind of noisy. It's not that it couldn't work. It's actually not the worst thing. It does kind of add more of a kind of rough feeling where it's a bit more, you can see here. Also, let's just see, just 1 second. So we have this one, and then, okay, and then effect, and then clear. Is that difference? Yes, okay. But yeah, just looking at this, I mean, it's not that you couldn't add this texture. It does add kind of a rustic feeling to it, where it's just a bit more rough. What do you guys think about this this noise pattern? This is just to make the larger parts of the bigger walls of cinnabar more interesting. So just you can undo this just to see. So it's definitely too clean now. So just doing it again. I mean, it could work. In a way, it's actually not bad. I think it's actually not bad. Because the other option would be to simply use the red terracotta. And so instead of mangrove planks, just red terracotta. And this would be much more smooth, but there will be texture there for. So you will have this texture here, everywhere, but it's also a bit dull compared to the other one. I mean, I don't know. It is difficult. It is a bit calmer. You haven't missed anything, not too much, State, but I am trying to figure out. So right now, okay, let's just try and remove this and have a look. So State, we are working on texturing, of course, and the kind of the general texturing I made here, the gradient, I think works fairly well at this point. You have your overall kind of gradient from the more kind of brownish color to the red one, and the gradient kind of centers around the lower part of the foundational walls. So not much will kind of a bit of this is kind of I've worked a bit of this upwards here, but most of it is underneath this line. It's the same over here. It's kind of only at the lower levels. But I do want to kind of add texturing to the block itself. And the two blocks I tried now is either the red terracotta, so this block here. So let's just see how it looks without texturing. It's a bit foggy. That's because I'm too far away. But yeah, we can either work this in on the walls or use something like mangrove planks. So let's just try the first one. This is the terracotta. So it will now substitute 1/4 of all the blocks and now just change to the red terracotta. I think it works, but it's also a bit. I mean, it does add just a tiny bit of texturing, but it's still very much the same kind of pristine color in general. But I think it could work. The other option would be, instead of using the cinnabar, we could use mangrove planks, which is not much darker, but it is markedly darker. And you can see how it looks here. Now it's a more spotty kind of texture. And I actually do like it in a way. It kind of adds a bit more interest to the walls. I don't know. It's so I don't know what you think, guys. I know it's difficult to kind of have an opinion on, but you can see here it's much more spotty, or kind of you can see the noise more, which I do like actually. It kind of has a bit more character to it. Just looking from here, it just has a bit more kind of a rustic surface. I'll just try the other one again. I think it works, but I do like the other one. I actually do like the mangrove one. Could there be another block like mangrove? Wait. So we have the mangrove planks and the strip mangrove, and then the red terracotta. Yeah, I think. The stripped mangrove wood. Let's try that one. I mean, it's not that much different, but it still has this body. I mean, it's fairly close to. It is fairly close to the planks, so this could work too. You know what? Let's try this one. And then we need another one. So the thing is, for the red terracotta, let's see. Why is the chat so quiet? I mean, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Okay. So red terracotta and well, it would have to be cinnabar bricks, right? It would have to be. But wait, what do we have besides cinnabar? So we have cinnabar. We have the polished cinnabar. Could we try that one instead, perhaps? The polished cinnabar. Let's see. Okay, I think this is probably too much. I don't think we need this. But it's just... Well... Actually, let's undo this and just change the ratio. So instead of 25%, let's do 15% and 85. You prefer the planks? Yeah. Mangrove looks better. I agree with Dasha. Mangrove is just the way to go. Oh, wait. Maybe the... That was weird. Suddenly, maybe my... there was an issue because the chat didn't move, and then suddenly, like, 20 messages just popped up. What is a command to fill not a full circle to texture with brush? Like some of the blocks will be missed. So what I do, the thing I'm doing is to use the brush tool. So what I do is I create a brush, and a brush is basically just the, let's see here. So you have a brush like backslash brush. Then I make a sphere, and then write out the blocks I need. So the red terracotta and cinnabar here. If I don't write anything else, it will be 50% of each. But I could write 90% red terracotta and 10% cinnabar, and I could add 5 different blocks. It doesn't matter. The 6 is the diameter or the radius, I can't remember, of the sphere. And then what I do is then I assign a mask. So I write mask, and then the block I want the sphere to affect, which means that if I write cinnabar bricks, for instance, this brush will only affect the cinnabar bricks. So that way I always know which bricks I affect. So this is quite useful for all sorts of things where you kind of need to only apply like small stuff or kind of specific stuff, basically. Yeah. Okay, let's see. I want to start doing a bit of work on the build in general. So we do want to have a bit of character kind of. So let's see here. Why am I talking like this? How about something like this? Maybe we have the blocks down here are affected in a way that is a bit. I think the granite wall is fairly good in the lower places here. You can have a bit of something like this maybe. Actually, this will probably be better to have. We probably need the wall blocks doing. The mangrove probably works well here. So Sandy, you had a super busy day. Again, I'm totally lost. Maybe, okay, super busy day. I'm in bed and on my way to dreamland. Good night, you awesome people. I didn't even get to say good night. Maybe you're gone now. But have a great, sleep well, Sandy. And it's so nice of seeing you here, as always. I'm missing all of the chat for some reason. Hello, the build is looking awesome. Thank you so much. I mean, it's getting there. I think I need to be a bit... just do a bit of texturing. I don't have to go too crazy, but just... Oh, what is happening here? Wait! Look. I'm scared. Why does it look like this? Wait, what happened? Ah, okay, I just... sorry. Yeah, I don't know. So, as I told you earlier, guys, I want to... So I want to probably... the thing I want to do is to have this gradient only affect the outer layer, because in real life that would probably be more realistic to have all the texturing be affecting the kind of affecting the outside instead of the inside, because that's where the weathering is kind of happening. So I will probably end up just removing or reverting the build back to itself, or to a non-textured version on the inside. Hey Wings, what type of edit do you use? So right now I'm using I'm guessing you mean for building. I'm using both World Edit. So I use World Edit for texturing for this for today in general, and then I've used Axiom just for kind of rearranging blocks and copying stuff. I mean, it's a bit harsh. I think when looking at this, I think it works with texturing, it works well, I think. The gradient with the mangrove, the strip mangrove, I think that works well. Without the gradient, it's a bit more spotty, kind of, the difference is bigger. You can see the difference. And I don't dislike it necessarily, but it's maybe just a tad too extreme. I'm not sure. And I might actually just change some of them to red terracotta. I don't know yet. We'll have to see. Hey, Dreadnought. Hey, Six Wings. Your Mausoleum tutorial was great, and I must say it helped me a lot in my Realm server. I got some friends. I worked on it for the past 2 weeks. Lucky the build reached Y319, so the height limit. That is awesome. Good to hear. I'm glad you're having fun building it. Yes, okay. Do you think the cushions can be used in builds like these? So the thing about cushions is that they are entities, and it's not like they couldn't be used, but they would like despawn if you don't have a mod to kind of change the kind of general the render distance of entities. It will be difficult to see them. But I mean, it's not like, yeah, I think it could be cool actually to try. I tend to not use entities for texturing or for builds in general. I do like to use full blocks more. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Like wall blocks are really nice for just a tiny bit of depth. I think they work great in general. I got a question. It's about texturing builds. I got an add-on which gives me build tools, and among them there's the replace blocks item, and I was thinking if it would help texturing easier. The replace blocks. So what tool are you using? Are you using Axiom like this one? because there's a replace mode here. I don't use it. It's just a preference, but it is really useful. You can just right click and then it will replace what you use, what you have, what you're. So if I right click, I can actually show you how it works. So if I have this on, if I right click, let's say with the stripped one, and right click here, then it just replaces it, and then I can use infinite reach. I can go here and then just click here, and this one is added, and click here, and this one is added. It is really convenient. I don't know what tools you're using, but it is really. You said the word depth, and it reminded me of my arch nemesis, the word depth. For the life of me, I can't pronounce it. Yeah, I have words in English. Some words are just difficult to pronounce. I don't blame you. It happens to me too. But sure, I mean, there are all sorts of things that helps with texturing. I must say, texturing. I said this in the video about the video called "Thinking Inside the Box." My first spoken video ever. I talked about kind of my issues with, not my issues with texturing, but just that it isn't a thing I have. It's not my favorite thing to do when it comes to building. I think it is something that can really kind of help elevate what you're doing in Minecraft, but it is not my favorite thing. I do like to create builds that don't need it as much, but well, I mean, it depends on the build, but it's not my favorite. Basically, how the build tool work is I first select the block and make a huge cube, and everything inside the cube can be replaced with advanced settings. Just type what block percentage for each of them. Yes, I mean, for world edit, it's the same. I can do the same. This is actually what I did for the walls here. So I typed in 15%, I think it was, or 25% or something like for the cinnabar or for the stripped mangrove, and then the cinnabar was 85 or 75%. So it sounds like more or less the same what you're talking about. So 6, can you say this word for me, please? I can't say that because I know that it's pronounced in a weird way. So I don't want to do it, Myth. You are killing me with these questions. So of course the straight kind of as a Danish person, I would say Worcestershire, but I know that's not true. It's a weird. I know it's the way you say it is much different. It's way different. Schedule or schedule, yeah. I don't know. Americans and English people say it differently. So some say schedule and some say schedule. Americans say schedule, right? My guess is. Yep, we do. Yeah, instead. You say, Americans say schedule. Americans don't speak English. That's a good one. Either way, I gotta say that Mausoleum was a great build I've done in survival, and I might try out more of your builds. That's awesome, Xenix Dominus. I don't even know which one I would suggest, but the first cathedral will be the next tutorial. And as I mentioned earlier in the stream, I do think I'm thinking about having this be done after the next big video I'm making. Even though I said to myself I do want to create 2 builds before starting the tutorial. But the problem is, either way, I'm not sure I can make it, because the build after the one I'm building now, not this one, I'm building the one build behind the scenes, and I want to do another build after that. And both these builds are the biggest builds I've ever made. And the second one is meant for Halloween, which is a problem, because then I have a deadline for that particular date, like the 31st of October, and I just hate working under pressure. So I might actually do the tutorial first, and then just build the build whenever I have time. Yeah, it makes you wince looking at the dictionary breakdown of the word schedule. Yeah. So Myth, are you saying Worcestershire? Next time we speak, you have to. Yeah, in the US you speak American. That's true. Yeah, I'm definitely sure that you're saying the truth. Shire isn't Shire, it's Shire. Yeah. Such weird pronunciations. Actually, Danish pronunciation of like Danish words is really weird, because like in Norway, they speak phonetically or write phonetically compared to. So if you read at least for a Scandinavian, if you read a word in Norwegian, it actually sounds more like that word compared to Denmark. We have all sorts of weird words that, if you don't know, it's not weird for me, but if you wouldn't know how to pronounce it, because it doesn't really sound like it's written. So I get the confusion. Is the Arch Tower easier to build than the Sanctum? Yeah, I think the Arch Tower is probably easier. I mean, you can ask some of the people here in the chat, but I would say it is. My guess is it is a fair bit easier. I try to think I have a pretty decent vocabulary, Mr. Habanero. I was taught Latin roots at the early age, and my parents used to force me to read the dictionary and write down words and definitions as a punishment. Sounds like a tough upbringing. Yeah, I mean, it's... I suppose it depends on where you're from. I mean, Americans, they usually don't have to know a whole lot about, I mean, when it comes to, because America is a big country, it's at least maybe some Spanish, I suppose, but if you live in Denmark, where I live, it's common to know at least 2 languages. English, that's kind of the main one that older people might not be able to speak as well. Then we have Germany, or German. I'm half German, so I speak German. And then, of course, like French and I mean, French is not really an important language to learn, but a lot of people actually do learn it in school. And then we have Swedish and Norway. That's closer to Danish, so this is something that a lot of people, they do tend to be familiar with, to some extent at least. You learn French in school, but you forgot everything. Yeah, that's usually how it goes. I mean, you learn a language in school, and then if you don't have a reason to use it, then it's just difficult. I mean, German. I learned mostly through television as a kid, where I actually saw more television in German than in any other language. Swedish is the dumbest language that humankind has ever created. I agree. I agree, Sophia. I mean, I don't have the same hatred towards them as you do, as I know you do. I mean, but I do think it's not. It's also not my favorite. You've been trying to learn Romanian for 5 years now. I can say maybe 5 things, but I can just but follow along with the conversation. That's another thing. It's also different. It's different. It's another thing to know a language than to speak it. That's something I have learned whilst after starting this channel. I mean, especially after streaming, but also just when recording videos for like tutorials and stuff. Having the flow of the language be natural to you. If you don't speak it, you can read as much as you want to, as you like. You can watch as many television shows in the language as you want. That doesn't make you good at talking the language. And that's something I have. It has helped me so much to just, on a regular basis, just talking the language. Yeah, it's basically like riding a bike. It's just something you have to do. You can't read a paper on it and then just do it. You kind of have to do it in practice. That's why I find your English impressive, considering how little you say you've been speaking regularly. Thank you so much. That is nice of you to say. I mean, I could speak it just fine, like a year or two ago. I mean, I could speak it. It's just not a language I was well versed in, and it's just the flow of the way you talk is just not as good. And I think, especially speaking when I connected with Sandy, just talking to her kind of more regularly has just helped me a lot. Just getting into the flow of speaking. I still talk. I mean, people from Denmark could just would instantly be able to hear that my accent is Danish, or at least in the vicinity of that. Whereas, just being comfortable speaking the language, that's just doing it more often, that has helped so much. Yeah, definitely. I will probably do something with this later, but we will probably add more windows. I'm a bit... I'm not quite sure I love the... because right here you can see how big the difference is. It's not as big over here in the sun with the shaders on. Here it's actually almost the same. I think it works really well here. So for a video, I would go with this, but I might actually just do a bit of kind of removing a bit of these the stripped ones, the stripped mangrove. I'm struggling to say the letter R correctly. I mean, some languages, people from some countries, they do have this rolling kind of R sound in the way they speak. We don't as much in Denmark, but there are definitely people that do. I don't know if that's what you mean when you're talking about the R word or the R sound. I mean, not the R word. It's endearing with accents. I think. I suppose it's one of those things that. I don't know how you guys feel. I mean, this goes for all of you guys that aren't native English speakers. If you hear another person speaking English in your accent, and you can hear, okay, this is a Spanish accent of English, or any country really. How do you feel about that? Because I instantly kind of, it's a Danish person. Oh no. I mean, there's this weird kind of, I don't know what it is. It's just, maybe it's just if you hear yourself speak, then you kind of, you cringe a bit, and then you can, I don't know. So I definitely have that with Danish accents. It's, I don't think it's beautiful. But I'll be, I'd love to hear what you guys think. If it's something you think about when you hear other people speak English in general. Honestly, 6. I can generally detect when someone speaking Romanian. Yeah. When I hear someone with the Finnish accent, I go, "Oh my god, Toril to the marketplace." I can't type. When I hear English spoken with a Russian Slavic accent, I feel instant kinship. Haha, brother, you and me both. Well, it might be different for you than Dasha. I feel instant hatred. Not really, but just a bit of irritation. Like, oh no, a Danish guy. Come on. Accents make brain happy. So Toril equals to the marketplace where we go when we win ice hockey. Oh, that's awesome. I need some water, guys. And state, I can't speak other languages primarily due to the way my brain works, but weirdly I'm able to read and translate multiple ancient languages that almost used hieroglyphics. I can best read Egyptian. Yeah, I mean, with your profession, that makes sense. I don't know. Maybe it's just so removed from real languages or contemporary languages that I don't know. Instant hatred. Yeah. I'm not a hateful person. It's just, you know, when you hate something for fun, like your neighboring country, you don't really hate them. When you just think it's fun to kind of pretend you do. Right, Sophia? You don't really hate Swedish people, right? Right? Or is it full-blown hatred? I'm actually not sure if we have Swedish people in the community. I haven't seen that many for some odd reason. I don't know. I will direct them to you, Sophia. Nah, I hate Sweden. Okay. Say no more. Guys, what do we have here? What do we have? What do we have? Just looking at the gradient in general, I do... You know what? I'll do a tiny bit of adjustments to the spotty texturing. Just substitute a bit of it with a less spotty block. So with red terracotta, just some of it, not everything, just a bit. But in general, I do think it's not that bad. I think I might actually just add a bit of. Oh, you know what, guys? When is the update for the autumn leaves? Do you know when it is? Because I do want to add a bit of kind of overgrown stuff, just hanging vines and leaves kind of overflowing or kind of on the bridge. But I do not want to use a really bright in autumn. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Duh. The update is supposed to be coming in mid-fall. Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. It is of course an autumn kind of a theme, so of course it will be. But I would love to add leaves. I mean, the red leaves or the orange leaves to this build. I mean, how awesome could this be to kind of have that here on these slopes and these the bridges? I could start by adding the normal leaves and then just change them and use a texture pack. You know what, guys? This will be our what is it called? The word I'm looking for. Our now I can't even think of the word, but temporary solution. I'm going to use a texture pack to, like an awesome texture pack, and then we're going to place leaves just going all the way around here. Maybe not today. I mean, maybe if we can, well, maybe a bit. Let's see. But I don't have the, do I have a texture pack? Do I have a texture pack? I have a fall texture pack, but does that work? It should work, right? On a, I mean, it is an older pack. Mangrove wood. I'm Finnish. We have to learn the language because we were colonized by them. Yeah, you have your Sophia. You have your reasons, definitely. I can definitely see that. I mean, the way that Denmark and Germany. I mean, like a lot of countries, Denmark was occupied by Germany, so we do have our like bad history. But the way everything was handled with Schleswig-Holstein and kind of the border to Denmark, like Denmark sits on top of Germany. The way everything was handled and the way it is now, that there's actually the relationship is actually really friendly. So yeah, and I'm sorry if it's like a common thing in general with Finland and Sweden, if it's like animosity there. So yeah, I do feel sorry if that's the case. Sorry, I was just taking a look here. Oh, the texturing. Yes, look at this. We have leaves. So let's try and put up some leaves here. We have the dark oak and we have the oak leaves. I'm guessing those might be the best ones, right, guys? Let's just try and have a look. Oh, the roots. You're talking about the mangrove roots. Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. Yes. Yeah. I mean, that could work. That could work too. I kind of add a bit of that. Let's see. So instead of, so this one works fine. I mean, we will be getting like multiple different ones. I'm just checking here to see how this looks compared to. I mean, both work because they both match kind of the overall style of it, kind of a color scheme of the build. What is this song as well? I think it's the outro one. The one we just had. Moonchild. Bunny Grace again is the same as the one I used at the beginning. Moonchild it's called. I will make a maybe Myth, you can help me with the playlist thing and see if we can export it or something. I know you're an expert in stuff like that. So you're saying the mangroves would look insanely cool. So you're talking about the roots, right? So they could be used to just yeah, you're right. They work too. So just for this part here, I won't be using them, but I think they could work really well, actually. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. You're gonna find them all on YouTube. I mean, I'm listening to this on Spotify, so I don't know if it's easy to just export a playlist. Have you tried called Voxy for better optimized world render distance? I have not tried Voxy. I know of Voxy. It's a I know it's a alternative to Distant Horizons, and I use Bobby myself. So I use Bobby because it renders everything normally without changing anything. So it is more heavy to use, but with Bobby I can go to 96 render distance. So let's just try. We don't have to change this, but pretty far. I don't know how far. I mean, I know that they go further. Voxy and Voxy and render distance, Voxy and Distant Horizons, but I rarely use more than what Bobby has to offer. So in that sense, I don't think I need it. But yeah, I can see why it is less demanding. So I totally get why you would use it. You cannot spell tonight. Didn't you just do it? Okay. Okay. Let's see, guys. Let's see what we have here. What do we have here? What do we have here? Okay. If one of the towers is overgrown, maybe you can use crimson vines on the inside and crimson roots too. Crimson vines. Crimson vines? What is that? Did I misunderstand? Okay, so vines in. Let's just go. Oh, you mean the weeping? Okay, the yeah, I know what. Yeah, they could work really well on the inside. Yeah, definitely. Good suggestion, Dasha. Okay. Some crimson roots. It's a bit bright down underneath them, so maybe I could use a bit of the crimson root here. To kind of complement the. You're getting entitled again. As always, Dasha. But that's okay. You're allowed to be a bit entitled. I'll just say no if I don't want to use your ideas. But you were right with the texturing in general. I think it is better to... the brown should be there, I think, for the gradient, but it just shouldn't be overpowering the build in general. Hey. So guys, what are you? Dasha is correct. What are you saying? Oh, it was just like a general statement. Like Dasha is correct. Okay. If you say so. What's your smallest build tutorial that would be fairly achievable in survival? I've been working on massive wheat fields and think of doing a windmill build. I mean, what you mentioned it yourself. The windmill build is probably the smallest one. That or the bath house. Those are probably the smallest ones, I would say. Just one thing for the bath house, I wouldn't suggest doing all the campfire bath as I did. I would probably just be a bit more because what I did was just placing for some reason I just placed campfires under all trapdoors on the swimming areas, just so everything was just smoking. I need the smoke, the particle smoke for the effect of it, but it looks much better if you just if you're a bit more kind of like random with where you place it, and just not as many as I did. So I would just be a bit more. Yeah, that's just one thing I would say. But I would say something like the Autumn Castle is not that. I don't know how bad it is. I mean, it is smaller than a lot of my builds, but I'm not going to sit here and say that it's easy, because it is. Yeah, I don't know if any of the guys here in the chat have built it. It is still one of my favorite builds, and it was the build that kind of put me on the map, I think. It was the first video that kind of, I wouldn't call it go viral, because that would be overstating it, but it was the video that kind of made my channel grow. And I do still like the build very much. It's kind of a unique, kind of a weird blend of, I tried to kind of blend Japanese architecture with kind of Nordic detailing. When I say Nordic detailing, kind of like medieval detailing, I'm purely speaking in Minecraft terms. I wasn't trying to recreate something medieval from real life. But it's kind of a mix of those two styles. Which is why I was a bit vague with the title. I call it the Autumn Castle, because it gives this it gives a bit of the feel of something that could be Japanese, but without committing to. I mean, I don't want to use. I mean, call it a Japanese build if it isn't really what I'm doing. The inspiration is there, but it's not really that. Dark Forest Sanctuary is the smallest, but I haven't made a tutorial for that one. The Sanctuary, that is smaller. It is. But I've only made tutorials for the Windmill and for... I mean, people have been asking about the Witch's Lair, which is... I love that build. I made it up on the spot, so it's really messy. Which is one of the reasons why I'm not fond of doing a tutorial for it, but I'm also a bit kind of there are a lot of people kind of there's a dedicated group of people that really like that build, and it could also be really cool to just make them happy and just do it just against all my own wishes and the wishes of most people. Because the thing is, maybe you have your opinion on this, but the thing is with with my tutorials. When I put out a poll for what to make, I don't do this for every tutorial, but I've done this a couple of times. And the thing is, I appreciate people kind of voting the way they do, but the votes that the most upvoted builds has nothing to do how popular that video series is going to be. It has nothing to do with that. I mean, nothing. Utgard was voted highest, but it isn't doing that well compared to some other tutorials. I made a long time ago. I made a poll. 4 builds was in a poll. I think it was Birch Blossom Castle, the Mausoleum. It might have been, I can't remember. I actually can't remember the other builds, but 2 other builds that has been made tutorials of already. You know what? The Mausoleum was rated lowest of them all. Of all 4, the Mausoleum was lowest. And now it's my most viewed series. And I'm not saying that, I mean, there are other things that counts than views on a video. But I'm just saying that you can't really rely on it as a metric of popularity, because most people that will watch a series of videos are people that don't subscribe to your channel. They just find a search up a tutorial, find it, or even just watch, kind of see it because it pops up in the algorithm. But it has nothing to do with what kind of the hardcore people that actually vote on these builds. It's a totally different metric. So I'm just saying that maybe a seemingly unpopular build would actually be more popular when I finally make a tutorial for it. So it's, in that way, it's actually difficult to tell. I can't say with certainty that this or that build will be popular or not. So yeah, it is difficult to actually have kind of full insight to how everything works with the algorithm and stuff like that. That is a mystery. Oh, let's see how it looks on just for these spots here, I think. Maybe it's a bit uniform the way I did it here. And maybe actually, so we have the effect of the... why can't I see a big difference? Am I the only one that doesn't see it? Let's go over... oh, it's actually a bit... okay, now it's off, right? Because if I do this... yeah, okay, it is much more... it is much more... how would you put it? It's much brighter, but yeah, it's I don't know. I do like having this added, definitely. I'm just trying to find a balance. I don't want it to be kind of the same for all of them, so maybe, I don't know, maybe one of them should just go further down to kind of create a bigger difference. I think that could look nice. Yeah, the litter and pile of leaves on the ground, yeah, I will add those 2 up here, like, definitely a myth. Right now, it is still a bit rough, everything I'm doing, so... if I remember correctly, the mausoleum was the first build of yours. I actually went and made entirely off of screenshots. I still remember when my friends thought I was nuts. You know what? It's not just your friends, it's everyone that has ever heard of you. I'm just being silly, but I mean it in the best way possible. It is, you are kind of nuts. I mean, anyone who has encountered your how would you put it? Your challenges. I mean, heard about your challenges. They would have to think you're nuts on some level or another. Yeah, you say it like you aren't still nuts. I mean, you are more nuts than ever. So, how do you get the idea for all of your designs? Please give me advice on how to get such cool ideas for designing massive builds. Okay, this will be different for everyone, but what I can say for just myself and the way I get some of these ideas. So let's take this build, for example. This build I'm building here. If you go back and look at all my streams and find the first or second stream, you can see a sketch I made. So what I did here was basically I found this seed with these two mountains here, as I found a kind of a nice spot like this, something like this. And then I simply went into Photoshop or whatever program you use, you have, Paint, or just something simple. And then I just began drawing rough shapes, just trying to kind of make rough shapes. It was just really simple. I actually show this in one of my videos. If you've seen the mountain castle guide video I made, it's just called Mountain Castles, or How I Built Mountain Castles. There are some things you can use there where I use the existing, so just having a mountain like this one over here, for example, just having this one can guide you to some interesting shapes. And we're not talking about detail, just rough shapes. That's what I really like doing. I know this is just one way of designing, but it could be a nice way of kind of trying to come up with designs, because this mountain here is already kind of in a way setting the parameters of what you can do. I mean, of course there are there are so many possibilities, but just using this as a reference, take a screenshot and try to draw on top of it. See if you can come up with some rough shapes. It doesn't have to be a bridge design like I'm doing here. I'm just doing this because it makes sense for this build to be like a bridge, because it's two large mountains. But yeah, I don't know. It's not like there's only one way of doing it. I'm just saying that using the terrain can be a guide to kind of to guide you into kind of creating shapes, and then you can go into like stuff, just using references after that, finding buildings that you find interesting to look at, that you can I mean, stuff you can use for your designs. I mean, it could be anything really. Other castles, or sometimes just taking details from real life buildings. I really like to take small details from, let's say, a spire, and then kind of enlarge that to be some, because then you have it's almost like you're using stuff from real life, but you're using it in a way that isn't as apparent. You're not just copying real life, which you can. I mean, it's nothing wrong with being inspired directly. I'm just saying that there are some cool ways you can actually use real life and then still having it be kind of unique to what you're building and not a direct kind of copy. I know I'm just sorry. I'm just kind of throwing different ideas around, but yeah, there are definitely. I mean, yeah, I definitely think that stuff like the terrain can be a guide that can be really useful and make it much easier to kind of land on a design that you like. But it definitely changes from build to build. And for a solitary build like the Sanctum, it would be different. It is different. I mean, it's much more. For that build, it's much more about getting the right references and being inspired by real life builds in a way where you don't. I don't know, it's difficult to explain, but just looking at a lot of different builds from real life, buildings from real life, but that does help a lot for more like kind of cathedral style builds, I think. But yeah, there's no one way of doing it, and I'm sure other people do it, kind of get their inspiration in different ways than I do. You're gonna head to bed, Dasha? Yeah, you know what, guys? It won't be long till I leave too. I'm just finishing a bit of these leaves here, and then I'm almost about 3.5 hours in, which is my usual kind of a time schedule, as they say in America. Yeah, it's a nice kind of. I always feel like the time is just flying by, so it's not like I am having a lot of fun. So it's not like I don't want to continue, but it's also, you know what, people need sleep. That is important. Yeah, Zenith MC. This is just some examples. In general, I would suggest watching some of my videos I have these videos where like more of a kind of video essay style videos where I talk about different design methods. I would watch a couple of those. But yeah, in general, it is. It really depends on the build I'm making, and but yeah, I think actually it's actually looking quite nice. I was hoping to get a little bit further into the build in general, but you know what? It's not that bad. I think we did actually actually do a lot. And I am more happy with it now than I was a bit earlier during the stream, where I was a bit kind of, I don't know, the texturing was just a bit uninspired, I thought. But I think it's. I will do so. The kind of the spotty nature of this, I do want to kind of change up a bit, not much, just make it a bit less extreme. I think it works well here in the sunlight, or when we have the texture, the shader pack on, shaders on. But yeah, in general, it is a bit kind of the only word I can say is a bit spotty. It looks like it has a lot of spots. If you were to build in the deep, dark, ancient city, would you restore the ancient city and bring more life to the city, or make something completely new? I don't know, actually. I haven't given thought to that, but it is really interesting, an interesting question. I would have to take a look and see what kind of look at the possibilities. I haven't thought of it, I haven't given it any thought yet. But I need to check it out at some point and see if I have any kind of I don't know, any kind of obvious way I would do it. I don't know. Yeah. I should sleep earlier than 2 a.m. today. I say that every night. Yeah. I'm not quite. For me, it's not quite as late as that, but I do have kind of a similar coping kind of a routine where I want to go to bed, and then I keep myself awake a bit longer. Yeah. Yeah. It's not good. It's not good. I will indeed go check out those videos. Appreciate the advice, and my gosh, this build is amazing. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think it needs work, but I think it's getting there. And I think this build, I don't know how apparent it is from just watching the stream, but this build is much bigger than I thought it would be. It actually hits height limit. This is height limit up here. There is no more room. I thought I could make this build the tower taller, but I can't. So I mean the Crestling Castle, which is a bit similar to this one, I almost think it could fit inside here. Not quite, but almost. I mean, I would have to check at some point, but I mean it is much bigger than I thought it would be, which is fine. I think it's awesome, but it also means that it takes longer to build and design, and there's so many kind of parts to it that needs to be that needs detailing, and I definitely need to spend a lot more time on it, and I think I will be using a bit time off stream, just a tiny bit maybe. I'm not sure when, because I do spend most of my time on the other build I'm working on, which is even bigger. It's actually much bigger, but yeah, I do really like this one. It is growing on me right now, literally, with these leaves. But guys, hey, what if you add leaves at the big bridge too? Yeah, I will. So there needs to be a lot of things needs to be changed here. All of this needs to be much more detailed. I need a pattern up here for the floor, and I need a lot of. I mean, this is a good place to kind of have things hanging and growing, kind of, and falling down. beneath these arches. We need a lot of leaves up here. I mean, it's just so small compared to everything else, so you can't even see it. But I mean, it's okay. I just need to put on the clouds. I do actually like them on, but it was just difficult to see the build in its entirety. Let's try and add a bit of a something like this. This is a nice shot. Six, my friend, my body, please, I beg you, tell stay to do virulence. I thrive on the torment he will feel. I mean, it will take a while, so, and he will be able to kind of add the stuff I will be adding later. So yes, I will. Oh, Sophia, your PC crashed. It was nice. It was nice having you tonight. I hope it isn't broken. Hopefully not. But yeah, State, do that. Do the do virulence. I am in agreement with Myth. Maddie Ross, hello man. You are a patient artist. Whenever I watch your videos, I feel a strange sense of calm. My soul feels free. I really mean it. Thank you so much. That's really nice of you to say. I have been loving these streams. Yeah, I think it's. I have to get used to working on the build and working on the build and kind of keeping up with the chat at the same time. So things go a little bit more slowly than I mean, when I just build. I don't have to explain what I'm doing. But I think it's actually a nice kind of way of learning that skill, because in a way it also forces me to kind of think about it and articulate what I'm doing. As bad as I'm doing it, but I mean, it is actually a good thing to learn, I think. But yeah, thank you so much. I'm having a lot of fun, and I think I was a bit nervous about the texturing, and I think just looking at the build right now, it is much better than it was like 2 hours ago. My PC, yeah, just sometimes, yeah. But yeah, it was fun to chat here again. See you all next week. Yeah, guys, I am winding down now too, and I will be back again next Thursday with another stream. I just think I will continue. I might be doing a bit of work on the so I think I will do a bit of work off screen, but not much. Just tidying up the texturing a bit. I feel I need to do a bit of work. I'm not sure if I'm going back to the interior or just staying on the outside a bit. I need to make the dome on top. I need to. There are a couple of things I need to do, but we'll see about that. But guys, it was so much fun. I really appreciate you all. I don't have much else to say other than see you in the Discord. Come by 6 Court. We have a great community, and if not, I'll see you here in 1 week. And yeah, thank you so much for coming, and have a great day or night. Or wait, there's a Discord. Yes, there is a Discord. Check the description of this stream or any other stream, and you'll find the Discord. It's called 6 Court, but yeah, it's there, and you can post stuff about builds, and if you need help building something of mine, for instance, or general just feedback, it's a great place to come by and it's a very kind of wholesome community. So definitely stop by, guys. Awesome. You know what? I'll leave you with the outro as usual. Have fun wherever you are, and thank you so much for coming by. It was awesome. You are all great. I can't wait to see you in 1 week. Bye, guys.